Hey, grace and peace to you this morning. Let's take a walk. So this is day 2 of walking with God. Now there's one guy in the Bible who we talked about walking with God a lot, pretty much because it's really the only thing we know about him. His name was Enoch. In Genesis chapter 5, we get a genealogy, which is one of those lists of who begat who and all that. Mostly people skip over this stuff because it's kind of boring. But if you're a Bible geek like I am, a lot of times you read these and you find these little gems like this about Enoch. The couple of verses about him say that when Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years, and he walked faithfully with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. 300 years. That's a pretty good run. There's one ancient tradition that says God took him away because Enoch could have been swayed to do evil, and God loved him too much to allow that. I don't buy that as a solution here, but I do like the idea of God caring so deeply about a walking partner. It kind of matches with what Scripture seems to tell us about God and His care for us in other ways. Now, Enoch, the author of Hebrews, actually talks about him too. He says it was by faith that Enoch was taken up to heaven without dying. He disappeared because God took him. For before he was taken up, he was known as a person who pleased God. And it's impossible to please God without faith. Anyone who wants to come to Him must believe that God exists and that He rewards those who sincerely seek Him. So, to walk with God in these terms is to live in such a way that you please God. Now, how do we please God? Well, according to what we just read about Enoch there, we please God through our faith. Well, what does that mean? And that's a good church word, faith. No one really has any idea what that means, right? Well, actually we do. It means to believe and act on the things that God says. How does that old song go? Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. And then there's the actual verse. It says, then in fellowship sweet, we will sit at His feet, or we'll walk by His side in the way. What He says we will do, where He sends we will go. Never fear, only trust and obey. You'll thank me for not singing that to you, I suspect. Now, that is really the whole message of Enoch right there. Trust and obey. So as you walk with God today, work on that. Trust Him and obey what it is He tells you. It sounds simple, sometimes a little tough in practice, but we can do it. We're all in this together, right? Grace and peace to you. I got to finish my walk.